Good morning, guys. It is about 9 o'clock on Wednesday morning. Getting a little bit of a later start on filming because we had a super early start to the day. Penelope woke up at 4:15 and I tried really hard to get her back to sleep, but she didn't really want to go back to sleep. So yeah, it was an early start, and I did all the usual morning stuff, had breakfast, fed her, and then was able to kind of get dressed and ready while she was still awake. And then she went down for her first nap at 8, so about an hour ago. And then the sitter just arrived just now. So while she's been sleeping, well, Penelope's been sleeping, not the sitter. While she's been sleeping, I've been editing yesterday's vlog, and oh my goodness, I shot a lot of footage and it is taking me longer than I thought to edit. So I feel like because it's been a while since I vlogged, I totally forgot that I feel like it's easy to shoot way too much content. So I am trying to edit down like 2 hours worth of content to 15 minutes. So I don't think I'm gonna get it down fully to 15 minutes, but yeah, hopefully today will be a little bit shorter. So yeah, I'm gonna finish doing that and get it uploaded, and then I am still waiting on the client feedback. For the project that I mentioned yesterday, the one that has the due date of the 23rd. So I'm going to have to email them today just to remind them and ask them to send it to me, because I was supposed to have it by the end of day yesterday, and now I have less than a week to do the finals, and they also want a round of edits in there somehow. So I really need to get those, and I probably will also try to work a little bit more on that logo project. And I'm thinking, what else am I going to do while the sitter is here? That's probably what I'll be able to do while the sitter is here, and then try to do some other things when she's gone, when it's just Penelope and I. So yeah, we'll see how the day unfolds, and if I do happen to get the client feedback, I'll probably just like really quickly shift gears and work on that. And yeah, I think that's where we're at for this morning. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish editing that vlog and get it uploaded. All right, it's a little bit after 10, and I have just finished pumping and then brought the milk downstairs to put it in the fridge. Whew. Generally, I try to minimize the trips that I have to make downstairs because, oh, let me take the glasses off so you don't get so much reflection. Because as Penelope has gotten older, she has developed pretty intense separation anxiety, and it usually is the worst like right when I leave or right when she sees me. So I try to not be going like up and down all the time, and then just stay up here and get focused on my work. So or like I'll try to make sure that I can bring, if I'm gonna pump, like I bring up the stuff before the sitter gets here, and then I try to bring down the bottles while she's still asleep. So that's just something that has worked. Well, it works when it works, but sometimes the timing doesn't always end up that way. But yeah, that is something that I try to do. And in terms of where I'm at with work right now, I am kind of at a standstill. You know, I just have finished editing yesterday's video, and it took me way longer than I thought, so I need to make sure to not shoot quite so much footage today. The video will probably still end up the same length, but I just won't have all the extraneous rambling that I did in yesterday's or today's or whatever the first day is. Yeah, so I'm at a bit of a standstill because I'm still waiting for client feedback on 2 different projects, and that can be really frustrating because it's like you agree to a timeline and you agree to a deadline, and usually clients still want the work done by their deadline, but it's not at all uncommon for them to be late getting their feedback in, and it's, yeah, it's just a little bit of an exasperating thing, because then I end up having to make it up in the end somehow. But I have reminder emails off to both of them, so I'm just waiting right now, so I figured I would go ahead and actually try to film another video, and I'm deciding which one I want to do. I have one that comes from a question, a subscriber question that was a really good question, and then another one that's kind of on I guess just general boundaries for artists. So I think I might do that one today, and I'm actually going to try to use this camera, which is a different camera than the one I usually use for filming, just because it's a little bit easier to get it set up. So yeah, I may try that, and we'll see how that goes. This is the first time I've had a flip out screen, and I have to say it's really dangerous because all I want to do is make sure I am finding the most flattering lighting. All right, so I have just filmed a whole video, which is great, and it should be up. I don't know if it'll be up end of this week or if it'll be up end of next week, but maybe end of next week because I'm doing all the vlogs this week, but we'll see. I'm still waiting on that client feedback, and I've just reminded myself, so that I don't get too depressed about the timeline, just reminded myself that one of the projects is actually like my first commission being done entirely on the iPad. So one of the things I tend to do, just to try to make the most of my daytime working time when we have childcare, and then also when there's natural daylight, is to do all of my painting and illustration in the day, and then at night I'll work on sketches and comps on my iPad, or stuff on my computer and emails on my computer after the baby's gone to bed. And since this commission is on the iPad, I actually should be able to do that even if they don't get it to me until late in the day. I should still have at least a few hours this evening, because I don't have any social plans today. So so yeah, that's good, and I think I'll just take this opportunity to do a little bit more work on a portfolio piece. Coming along. Hi. Well, little miss is up from her nap. This was nap number 2. And the babysitter left a little bit ago. So we're just hanging out in the studio. I just went and got her up. She's still in her little sleep sack thing. So I'm gonna nurse her. She's getting very excited by all of the colored pencils. Yeah, I'm gonna nurse her, and then and then I'll probably try to get a little bit more work done, and yeah, that's the plan. Yeah. All right, baby girl is fed and clean, and we are headed back up to the studio. I'm gonna try to do a little bit more work, but first I actually want to open that package that I picked up at the post office yesterday and show you all what's inside. This was sent to me by a subscriber. Her name is Guna, and she is also an artist. She's a sculptor. And I'm gonna put all of her links either in the description box or on the screen, so you can check out her work. Oh my gosh, I want to be so careful here. My hands are seriously shaking. Whew. I don't want to break it. Whew. All right. Let me the lighting so you can see it well. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. It is a sculpture of a reindeer, and I believe it's called Ghost. And I think she makes these with polymer clay, with like Sculpey and Fimo. So as I said, I'll put her information in the description box. And thank you so much, Guna. It is absolutely beautiful. I love it. I also have to thank Guna, who is just incredibly generous and kind, because she sent me this entire set of the Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer watercolor pencils, and look at how gorgeous these are, guys. Stunning, right? And I have tried them out, actually just that kingfisher bird that you saw me drawing. I use them for the first layer of that, for the watercolor pencil layer, but that's the first piece I've experimented with them on, so I want to use them a little bit more, and then I'm going to do, I think, a comparison video between them and the Prismacolor pencils, Prismacolor watercolor pencils. But overall, my first impression is that was just the plastic, don't worry, is extremely positive. They're just really, really beautiful pencils, and the color range is extraordinary, and I'm super excited to use them. So thank you so much, Guna. The pencils and the sculpture are just a really amazing gift. So it's quite a bit later now. It's a bit after 4. I'm trying to remember the last thing I was doing. I think the last thing I was doing was filming a portfolio piece that I was making, and then my battery died. So I've been charging the battery a bit, and had something come up kind of last minute with an existing client, and it's a bit of a logistical problem, so I've been trying to deal with that, and have been going back and forth with the client that is still needing to send me feedback, and it sounds like I should be getting it by the end of day today, but they're out on the West Coast, so their end of day is already pretty late for me, so I'm just hoping that I can get it to allow me enough time to still work in the evenings, because as I mentioned, that's been a way that I have made it work. Thankfully, I know not all babies are like this, but thankfully Penelope does go to bed pretty regularly between 6 and 7. I mean, usually it's like right on the dot at 6:30. So after eating dinner, that leaves quite a good chunk of time, at least a couple of hours. Even though I go to bed pretty early, it still leaves me a couple of hours to work on stuff in the evenings, just sitting on the sofa, either on my computer or on my iPad. So hopefully I'll have those in time to do that tonight. And if not, I'll just have to get cracking on them first thing tomorrow. All right, it's about 4:45, somewhere around there. Yeah, 4:40. And little lady here is up from her nap. And I think I'm gonna pause on work for the day, as I mentioned. I'm just gonna do some chopping and prep for dinner. I'm making like a taco salad, Mexican salad type thing, and then I probably will try to get outside with her for a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, we usually try to take her out for at least one walk every day, or try to get her outside at least once every day, ideally for a walk. So there's a park a little bit, about 15-minute walk from here, so yeah, if I can get dinner done, we'll head there before bedtime, and that'll be that. So we're out for a walk. Oh, sun's in her eyes. And gonna try to make it to the park so that she can have some time on the swings, which is like her favorite thing to do. But it's actually pretty late already. It's 5:45. I always forget that even though salads don't have to be cooked, there's so much that has to be chopped, so it takes a long time. But yeah, so she already had some dinner, and we'll go for the walk, and then when we get back, she'll just nurse and go to bed. And then Eric and I will have dinner, and I'll get some more work done. Well, the playground was the place to be tonight. Apparently there is a puppet show going on, so there are a ton of people, and there's only 2 swings here, and they're only the baby swings, the baby size swings, so even the older kids use them. And there was quite a line through the swings tonight, so we almost didn't stay because it is getting past her bedtime, but she really loves them, and she has been kind of a bit grumpy the past couple of days, so went ahead and just gave her a few minutes in the swing. And the puppet show looks like fun, but I think we'll have to save that for when she's older. So headed home now, and we'll do her bedtime routine, and then that'll be the day for her.